Livingston Underground. The name just rolled off the tongue. It was 2004, and while away at college, I put on a few local music events and instantly I was hooked. I put on 4 more concerts in my remaining time at school, and once I graduated and came back home to Livingston County, I did some research to see what was happening right here at home. What I found was actually surprising. There were a lot of really talented bands that were in the area, and some were trying to put on events throughout the county, but there was no real unity. That winter, I had conversations with bands like Set Focus, Borderline Extortion, Fanboy, Bottle Fight the World, the Inklink Crew, and we decided to get together and have a meeting. One night we got together at Espresso Royale in Brighton, and we laid out plans to create something and get more organized. That night we formed the Livingston Underground. From 2004 to 2007, we presented DIY concerts throughout the county, hundreds of them at alternative venues such as the Howell Opera House, the Hartland Performing Arts Center, the Howell Rec Center, the Annex, Meyer Skate Park, Great Escape, First Presbyterian Church of Brighton, the Bolodrome, and Espresso Royale.
It would be 2004. It was my freshman year, regardless, whenever that was. It was at the Annex. Just put on by the bands. It was before there was a Livingston Underground. Just, 3 bands from Brighton wanting to play a show, so we rented the place out and told all our friends about it and had a show.
You carry my lost jacket over your head, my lost jacket over your head, my lost jacket over your head.
I was involved in other things. I played sports in high school, but always kind of felt distant from that, I'd say, looking for something more, and I think, I found that in the local scene, in local music. That's just kind of where I felt I belonged. It was, obviously with the DIY scene, the punk community, etc., kind of like has always been a haven for outcasts and weirdos and people that don't kind of fit in generally. When you have a community like Livingston County, which is very, very non-diverse,
Right.
You're going to attract the type of people that maybe wouldn't go to that type of event in a different community, which I think is awesome. So I think, in Livingston County especially, we were introducing a lot of people that maybe wouldn't see those points of views and lifestyles to, maybe something different. So I think that's really cool.
Things were going really well. Along with the others involved in the Livingston Underground, I was lucky enough to expand our operations and present shows in Lansing, Flint, and beyond. But leaving our borders from time to time meant that the moniker Livingston Underground no longer applied. Fusion Shows was formed, and after discussing with my wife, I decided to give full-time concert promotion a go. While we increased our footprint throughout Michigan, our expanded connections allowed us to bring such touring acts as For Today, Forgive Durden, and the Wonder Years to Livingston County. But it was the triumphs of my local friends that gave me the most fulfillment. Shows such as Apathetic Critics' CD release party at the Annex, the sold-out La Dispute shows at the Opera House, the Chris Nance Memorial Concerts, the nights of ridiculously awesome holiday sweaters, the unplugged shows at the Howell Nature Center. The growth and accomplishments of such bands as Good Weather for Airstrikes, Tips, Endeavors, throughout Michigan's music community are the greatest success stories. This is my home, and I want more than anything for there to continue to be live music presented here in my hometown.
We booked our first show with Nate, and he never, we didn't even have really recordings at that time. So those were the very local shows, like the Think Local series, I think it was called, and we played one of those, and that was our first Fusion show, and we he didn't really ask what genre we were. He was just like, oh yeah, you're a band, that's cool. Come on, play this. You're in high school, you know, you've never played a show with us before. Come on, you know, you deserve a shot. We didn't really have an identity, and we had a hard time giving anyone else an identity. And that's what I think was awesome, because when we went to a show, the identity didn't matter. Like, you could just watch a band and be like, those guys are really passionate, and their fans are really passionate about what they do. And it doesn't matter what kind of category they fit in, or like why, you know, like what kind of clothes they're wearing, or like, you know, what, like whether they're fans of girls or guys, or older or younger. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what matters is that they're getting everybody going and having a good time, and that's what the show is about. The community is about respect and emotional support. And this sounds really mushy-gushy, gooey, but like, I mean, emotional support is in, like, I can go out on stage and just dance around like an idiot. Like, I do not think I look very good when I'm on stage, like, flail my arms and stuff. But I feel so comfortable when I'm on stage with the people at the show. Every band has something to bring to the table. And that's what the music scene means to me, is that everyone brings their own thing, their own sound, their own energy. And when we put it all together, it's unlike anything else.
As there has always been, we have a real core of talented musicians in this area. But we're finding that due to a lack of a dedicated music venue in the area, our local music community cannot grow. Some of our past venues have made changes, making it impossible to continue to use them as event spaces. Furthermore, alternative venues, as a general rule, are much more expensive to present events at, and tend to have very busy calendars. What used to be 3 to 4 shows a month is now 1 show a month if we're lucky. With less shows, and therefore less performance opportunities, we find that there are fewer bands forming, and that is a problem. We believe that it is the perfect time to find a dedicated space that our music community can call home, a place where we can host independent acts that don't necessarily draw huge crowds, a place where new bands can cut their teeth and learn how to be a band, a place where we can charge $5 and have a really cool night of music and make sure everyone gets taken care of.
I pretty much went to every single show that was in Livingston County, and at that point there was 1 or 2 a month. I think it's really helped me break out of my shell, because I'm not a very outgoing person. I try and hide behind my cameras, but going to shows, seeing the same people, you know, every other weekend for months and months at a time, even if I don't know them personally, wouldn't hang out with them otherwise, still just being there and saying hi, having someone to talk to is really nice. I don't know, I think the venue just needs to be somewhere that can be ours. Like, we don't feel like we're intruding upon, you know, other activities or other businesses. It's almost like a second home, just being able to go to shows. Everybody greets you, everybody wants to talk to you. Just having that understanding that there's something that brings us together, that unites us all.
In order to build towards finding a permanent home, we have 3 goals to focus on.
First, we have to build a network. In a community not typically known for embracing and supporting its youth, we have to embrace and support each other. It's vital that we team up and work together. Whether we're musicians, artists, or supporters of art in any form, we have to come together to make this work.
Secondly, we need to spread the word. Because the local calendar is slowed, and because many high school age kids move away from the area to attend college each year, we have to re-educate the kids in our area, show them what's so great about what's happening here.
And lastly, we have to raise funds. When we identify the space that we want to call home, we have to move swiftly. It's no secret that real estate costs in Livingston County aren't cheap. And once we find the space, we want to do it right. That means we'll need to spend some money to decorate it, to make it comfortable, and to make it functional. Together, as a community, we'll make a plan and we'll execute it.
I felt like at home when I was at shows. It really felt like that's where my personality shined and where I wanted to be at the time. The kids I grew up with in grade school weren't the same anymore, and when I went to shows, it was like those were my people. They were the awkward and weird like I was, and the kids that didn't do it just to fit in, they did it to just be them. They felt like themselves when going to shows, and that's how I felt going to shows. I felt like I could be myself there and didn't have to be different and try to fit in. I feel like that's my family. I feel like when I go to shows, there's no greater feeling on earth. Like when I go to high school, people still say hi to me and like, oh yeah, Dom. But at shows, people give me hugs and they're like, oh, Dom, it's great to see you again. It feels like I go to a family reunions more than concert shows. It feels like those are my family. Just knowing that there's a show coming up this Friday really impacted me. It was thinking, man, I gotta see all the, like, nothing could destroy that weekend. It really got me out of bed and just made me just in a better mood. Like, I gotta go see my favorite bands with the best people in the world. And it was just exciting. It just made me feel better about myself knowing that there's people out there just like me. I feel like without the music scene that I had, I feel like I wouldn't be the person that I am today, which is a happy-go-lucky kid that everyone looks up to and everyone looks to for guidance. And I feel like myself that I am a leader, and it just feels great.
To begin the process of meeting these 3 goals, we're really excited to announce a huge concert event taking place at the Hartland Performing Arts Center this fall. We're calling it The Return of the Livingston Underground, and it's confirmed for Saturday, November 10th. The lineup so far includes Endeavors, Good Weather for Airstrikes, Giraffe Attack, Tiger Tiger, The Deep End, the much anticipated return of Howell's ska legends Fanboy, and many, 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 many more. Oh, and your band. That's right, we want your band to play. Don't have a band but always wanted to? Join one. Start one. We want you to play. If you're a band from Livingston County, you will be added to this lineup, period. All genres, all age groups. We'll add more stages if we need to. We want you on this show. This is your community, and your involvement is crucial. Tickets are just $10 in advance, and all profits from the event will be used to start the fund to open this venue. So what can you do now? We need talented volunteers, and we need bands. If you're either one of these, please email me at nate@fusionshows.com. Next, connect with us online. Find Livingston Underground on Facebook and Twitter, or head to our website at livingston-underground.com, and we'll let you know what's next.
To create a sustainable music community, it takes people. Regardless of how you fit in, if you're a musician, a photographer, an artist, or a supporter, you're involved. We can build something beautiful here, but we need your help. Take ownership of this community. It's yours.